In this video, I'm going to share 5 things that you need to know if you want to pass the PMP exam. So, in order to pass the PMP exam, there are various things, but in this video specifically, I'm going to go through those 5 things. If you master, you can clear PMP. My name is Amir Ali, and every month we have one boot camp in which we work with the students till they become certified PMP. This Friday, we are going to do that pattern bootcamp. This is today when I'm recording. This is Wednesday, so you can say 2 days left: Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. So let's go into a little bit detail of that program, how we are going to work. That we will come. But the most important thing that I want to share with you that you can look into that is the 5 things that you may know regarding the PMP that can help you to become PMP. So let's go one by one to those things, and then I can explain you about the program that is going to start. So 5 things that we need to know about PMP. The first and the most important thing, there will be 180 questions, and all those questions will be situational questions. All those questions will be situational questions. What do I mean by situational question? So you will be given a scenario that this happen. What will you do? Like as a project manager, what will you do? This will be the most of the questions, most of the scenario in there. 180 question answers. 170 to 175 will be MCQs with one option, and there can be 5 drag and drop. This is the context of the PMP exam. Like 180 question answers are with you. Even the drag and drops are situational question. What do I mean by that situational question? You don't need to remember anything. That is the first thing. Like you need to know the flow, and I will go into the flow that you need to know, but you don't need to remember anything. You need to know how to use tools and technique, right? You need to know how to use tools and technique. You don't need to know like this tool is this. No. You need to know how to implement that tools and technique, how that is going to work. It's a very important thing. No matter how many books you have read, if you don't know how to solve situational questions, if you don't know how to solve situational question, you cannot clear PM. If you don't know how to solve situational question, you cannot do PMP. This is as straightforward as you can put into that way. You cannot like you cannot clear PMP unless you know these things. How to solve a situational question. As a project manager, what do you need to do? Now, of course, in order to solve these situational question, in order to solve the question answers that we will look into that, right? You need to have the content. Shubham is asking, can you let us know? Need to remember ITTO? No. ITTO, also known as Input Tools and Technique and Output. This was old PMP, PMP before 2020, right? Where you need to remember these are the input, these are the tools and technique and output. Now, as I said, as I mentioned, the entire PMP exam is situational exam. Mhm. The entire PMP exam is situational exam. I can even highlight it, right? It's a situational exam. You don't need to remember input tools and technique. No. You need to understand how things work, what worked into that way. You don't need to remember anything. That being said, now comes the second most important thing. Second most important thing in the PMP exam. Second most important thing is time management. One of the biggest problem that students have while solving the question answer is basically they actually don't know the PMP exam has 230 minutes with two breaks, 10 minute, 10 minute. These two breaks come after question 60 and 120. You cannot take these breaks before. If you skip this break, you cannot get this time. This is a additional time. I still remember when I gave my PMP exam, there was no break, right? So I used to take break after 50 questions. Now, PMI has added break in the exam from from past 2 years. So let's say you start from question number zero, you will have 230 time. Then once you read question number 60, once you reach question number 60, PMI is gonna ask you, do you want to go to the next question? Do you want to go to the next question, or do you want to take a break? Let's say you take a break, there will be a 10-minute break. Your previous timer will stop there. Your previous timer will stop there. Mhm. Now you go from question number 61 to 120 question. After 120 question, the PMI is again gonna ask you, do you want to take a break? Again, 10-minute break, and then from 121 to 180 questions. From 121 to 180 questions. And after that, if you give exam, like you will get a preliminary score. A very important thing to know that I would say exam is in three parts: A, B, C. Once you go to question number 61, once you go to question number 61, you have reached question number 61. Now you cannot go back. Now you cannot go back. Now you have reached this angle. From there, you cannot go back. Now you have to move forward. Am I am I clear about this thing? Am I clear about this thing? Like you cannot move back now. Once you reach question number 61, you cannot go back. 61 to 120. Now this is a, like if you have reviewed it, you have to review it before the break. Okay. Now they, like exam is actually three parts: A, B, and C. A, B, and C. You cannot go back. Process how much beneficial? What do you mean by 49 processes? You don't need to know. Again, you don't need to know. Shubham, you need to know the flow of PMP. I'll come to that thing. You need to know the flow of PMP. The first thing is exam is situational. The second thing is time management. Time management is very critical. Time management is very critical. So once we know uh, the exams are situational, once we know we have to time management, the third and most important thing is servant leadership mentality. No matter you get a agile question, no matter you get a predictive questions, it does not matter. You get a agile, predictive, or it's a hybrid question. Whatever the question is, the exam is gonna test your knowledge of servant leadership mentality. What do I mean by that? You never fire the team member. Mhm. You never fire the team member. You always identify training need. What are the training needs? Provide them the training. Unless the team member violates the procedures that are against the PMI codes of ethic, responsibility, fairness, things of those nature, we never fire team members. We always identify training requirements, we provide them their training, and we move in this way. This is a servant leadership mentality. For example, let's say a question is that you have just hired a team member, but now you have identified his skills level are not according to that is required. What should you do? Should you fire the team member, communicate to HR, train the team member, ask any other team member to do? What would you do? Put in the comment box what would be your answer. What do you think with the servant leadership mentality? I'm gonna give you 10 more seconds. Okay. Now, the right answer here is straightforward. The right answer here is basically train the team member. Mhm. train the team member. So throughout the PMP exam, the most important thing is we need to have a servant leadership mentality. If you can maintain servant leadership mentality, you can get your PMP exam. So third most important thing that we need to do, servant leadership mentality. Okay. Second thing was time management. The first thing was PMP exam is situational base. Okay. Now the fourth and okay, the fourth critical point that when you are preparing for the example is flow of processes. Now, what one of the student was saying here in the live, that do I need to remember ITTOs? Do I need to remember processes? No, you don't need to remember processes. What I need to know about the flow of PMP. I need to know about the flow of the PMP. What do I mean by flow of PMP? What happens in initiation? What happens in planning? What happens in execution? What happens in monitoring and control? What happens in closing? I need to know the flow, how things move. I need to know the flow. I'll give you in 2 minutes how you can know what flow is, how the things is, etc. etc. The flow of PMP, if I would say the flow of PMP moves through these five process groups: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. In the next 1 or 2 minutes, I'll explain you so that you remember it forever for your PMP. By the way, before I explain, what do you think? Why don't you put in the chat box what does initiation mean? What happens in initiation? What happens in planning? What happens in execution? What happens in monitoring and control? And what happens in closing? Put these five things in the chat box. Okay, put that five things in the chat box. So, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. In initiation, three things happen. You get a project charter, which officially start the project. You get assumption log, and you get stakeholder register. These three things are initiation, project charter, assumption log, and stakeholder register. These three things are done. In planning, we get 18 plans here. In planning, we get 18 plans here. How basically we worked into that way, we get these 18 plans at our hand. What happens in each plan, we need to know. What are the plans? Put in the chat box, I would like to know. Okay, so what are the 18 plans? Put in the chat box. If you don't know what are the 18 plans, I highly recommend you read this article. If you go to my LinkedIn, okay, I have put this article for you guys. So this article is the 18 plan and 33 documents. It's a small article. You can actually read in 10 to 15 minutes. Go through it. What happens in scope, requirement, quality. This is actually the fifth thing I was gonna come to it. And 33 documents. That's a must to understand for your PMP. That's a must to understand for your PMP. Okay, so 18 plans, all the 18 plans are there. What is the purpose of those 18 plans? Okay, what is the purpose of those 18 plans, and who approves the plan? Change control board or sponsor. Then in execution, we implement the plan. In execution, we implement that plan. In monitoring and control, we do variance analysis. Plan versus actual. What was your plan and what is actually happening? You raise change request and that get approved. and you close the project. This is the five process group that you need to know. Fifth and the last thing is 18 plans and documents. I wouldn't say 33 documents because 33 documents are basically the documents of predictive. You need to know what is product backlog, sprint backlog, product increment, burn down chart, burn up chart, Kanban board, task board information radiator, things like that. If you know these things, these five things, what I said, situational question and understand how to solve question, time management, what is servant leadership mentality, if you know that what is servant leadership mentality, right, these flow of process groups and these plans and documents, if you know this, you can clear your PMP. Now you can do it yourself, or you can join our bootcamp that is going to start in just 2 days. In that program we actually go through every single thing. That program consists of 7 steps that I actually follows to the process. Like we will be starting our training on 21st of June, 21st, 22, 23, then 28, 29, 30. 6 days of training from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. We will cover every single thing that you need to know about PMP. We will go through every single thing. Guys, give me a minute. So, 6 days training, we will go through every single thing that you need, the announces, the details of the programs, how things works, etc., etc., etc. Right? Then I'll make a follow-up plan for you how you want to study. You will get 3 to 4 coaching call in a week to make sure that you are on the right track. This coaching call is making sure that you are on the right track. These are the things that we do in our coaching calls. You will get a customized roadmap. The roadmap is perfectly designed to make sure that you study and you're on the perfect track. You will get my main PMP group, the best simulator, and the final day tips. The entire program is $699. The entire program is $699. You see, you can either do it yourself, and if you want to do in 6 months or 7 months, you can do that, right? You can do that. That is not a bad way. So, yeah, everything is okay. So you can do it yourself, or you can work together, and we can uh, do it together. The thing is that one of the most important thing that we do in our program is that I hold your hand, I hold your hand, and I walk through you entire topic, every single thing that you need to pass in the program, every single thing that you feel that can help into your PMP, I work into that way. And that is how I make sure that you are ready for exam. For example, this week, after 2 days, one student has exam. Like 10 students more has exam in next 1 week till Monday, I would say. The thing is that how do we know that this is something that is really important for you? How do I know that they are ready for exam? This 7 step formula worked into that way. This 7 step formula worked into that way. Let me show you an interesting thing. If you just want, if you are looking, still looking for the feedback, okay, let's go into YouTube, my channel, okay, playlist, certified PMPs. You can go into that and watch journeys from all over the world. Like for example, Hassan cleared in 16 days. Sheikh Shafiq cleared. Kasser cleared. Fazan cleared. Faisal cleared. Kunal from Canada. Aisha. Arib. Jawad. So many success stories. This is just one of showing you. Then you can actually go to this PGMP success stories, right? Then lesson learned from certified PMP. Lesson learned from this. 180 these success stories. So the purpose is here, so many success stories for one goal, to make sure you become PMP, to share something with you that now you become PMP. You follow the roadmap, you follow the way, and you become PMP. I shared the link. My number is there. If you feel this program is for you, register now. Me and my team will make sure that you become the next PMP. Thank you very much for joining, and I wish you join the program. I hope you best of luck.
عدنان بن چیتن
Jigar,
جیکو
Ajit, Samad, Jarat, Anu, Akil, Mohammad Faisal, Jay Prakash, Mohsin, Mafi, Preeti, Priya, Ajit, Tosh, Tushar, Ubaid, Jiku, Sir Wasim, Sir Irfan, Sayyid, Vishnu, Kam, Mohammad, Vandana, Vel Kumar,
علی
Ali Raza, Edwin, Chandra, Mohan, Imran, Sir Arfat, Deepak, Adnan, Ajay, Batu, Ibrahim, Murli, Rizwan, Sachin, Sujit, Pompnil, Riyaz, Sayyid, Faisal, Harun, Khan, Vinay, Javed, Sanger, Farid, Pradeep, Prem, Abhishek, Amir,
congratulations
Muhammad, Sai Parita, Nabil, Chitra, Talaj,
Harsh
congratulations,
Manish
Amar, Adirul, Lisa, Aslam, Atif, Grace, Greg, Matt, Sachin, Kamal, Bashkar, Rohit, Pattis, Vikshit, Vyas, Saurav, Siddhartha, Nadir, Tariq, Venkat, तो हरी पसंद है मंसूर, रेहाना, विजय, विशाल,
Arjun
असद, इलियास, खान, congratulations, Anthony, Arvind, हसान, जी वसीम, मंगेश, राज, अकबर, वर्ना, संकल्प, विशेष, ईश्वरी, अफजाल, विवेक, हसीब, हामिद, लीश, पल्लवी, अनम, फैसल,
बुरहान
हुसैन, मतीन, पांडे,
सैयद खलील मुनीफ
हसान, गुप्ता, आशा, अजय, इकेन,
पूजा
तलहा, विजय, अमजद, जॉफी, हसन, सुजित, अमित, दीबी, राजू, पवन, उमर, मान, वेंकटेश, अहमद, गुप्ता, शीश, मैरी, शॉन, जमाल, तुलसीदास, अनान, मोहसिन, नदीम, अली, हिसाम, कवैस, अजीम, मंसूर, शकील, केरिया, हसन, रियाज हुसैन, प्रदीप, मीना, आसमा, दुर्गा, शरीफ, अली अल बलूच, कांग्रेचुलेशन माय फ्रेंड, सलमान, सुबता, हसन, मोहसिन, मनीक, क्रिस्टोफर, जंगीर, हमास, मोहम्मद शफीक, नवीन, दरिक्सा, फियाज, प्रशांत, इलियास, दामवीर, नीजू, अब्राहम, श्रीनिवास, सुंदेला, नबील अहमद, नवीद, बिलाल, सिद्रा अली, शाजी, उबैद, बाबर, कौडी, रिजवान, इमरान, विवेक, राजीव, राव, इश्ताक, फैजान, रहील, निसार, उमर, आज, संदीप, शराज, तीनों, उसामा, कोमल, शिवानी, सलमान, सदा, आनंद, दिलवम, अजय, साबिर, उजैर, सुरिंदर, प्रदीप, अमीर, मोहित, वकास, निधि, उमर, उस्मान, संदीप, अमित, अबू ताहिर, नवीन, अर्शद, मोहम्मद, विवेक,
या
सुशान, फुरकान, गजेंद्रा, नागराज, नसीमा, सागर, मोहम्मद, जायना, हुसैन, रश्मि, नेहा, फैसल, अली, अली अल अजमी, हमाद, नुमान, आलम, विजय, सरनाया, सवाना, मोहम्मद, जक्का, जाकिर,
कांग्रेचुलेशन सादिमा
सहर, अजेब, समीर, इफ्ती, तलाल, हमाद,
उमर
उस्मान, मलिक, अजेब, वकास, प्रिया, रफी, सायरा, सरस्वती, सौरभ, सशवानी, फैवज, श्रीकांत, प्राण, जानदार, डुओ, फ्रांसिस, अब्दुल, मोहम्मद, उमर, अभिषेक, अभिलाष, अबरार, फरहान, लता, निधि, इब्राहिम, विनोद, फैसल, अमीर, इनाम, अब्दुल अजीज, इकेन, अकमल, अजान, बासिल, गारिमा, कैवन, पद्मा, साजिद, जाद, साजिद, वलीद, चेताली, अनामिका, जरनाब, सुदीप, नवीन, मोजदेव, नवीद,
कांग्रेचुलेशन
आतिफ, चक्रा, हसन, नदीम, आबिद पटेल, आदिति, सुभाषेश, कुरेश, उमैर, रफीउल, गुलाम, शाम बाबू, दीपक, कैरोलिन, लिनविन, शीतल, एल्विन, उनिंद्रा, प्रशांत, अबरार, अली खान, राम, विद्या, तलहा, बासाद, राशिद, माधवन, गुरजीत, रिशु, दत्ता, सबान, अजीम, मंगेश, मुदस्सिर, प्रदीप, सिद्रा अली, मैन, कांग्रेचुलेशन, सुहेल, अमूल, तहसीन, नबील, आतिफ, जिया, नित्या, शाह, मोहम्मद, शकील उमर, अहमद, मिस्टर अवध, हिरुति, सलमान, खालिद, जॉन, सैयद, सत्यस्नैन, वसी, सैयद, सुहेल, शाम, सिन्हा, जिद इकबाल, विवेक. And here we have my 1000 PM in less than 3 years.